Somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, a man is watching something circle beneath him. He hasn't eaten a full meal in 3 weeks. He has been adrift for 31 days and is still over 1,000 miles from land. And now something is tearing through the floor of his raft. His name is Stephen Callahan, and this is how he survived 76 days alone. February 1982, the Canary Islands. A dream that started long before this nightmare. Stephen Callahan was a boat designer and sailor who had spent years building this moment. He had designed and built his own sailboat, a 21-foot sloop he called Napoleon Solo. His plan? Sail solo across the Atlantic Ocean, alone, from the Canary Islands to the Caribbean. He had already completed a solo transatlantic race the year before, but this time he would be completely alone. What he could not know was that the ocean had already decided how this crossing would go. He set off on January 29, 1982, into weather that was already turning. For the first 5 days, it went as planned. Wind, sun, salt air, and the feeling of being truly free. Then the storm hit. Not a squall, a sustained assault that lasted for days. Callahan fought the wheel for hours, soaked through, sleep-deprived, and scared. On the night of February 5th, the storm eased just enough to let him sleep. Then, at 2 in the morning, a sound like a cannon shot tore through the hull. Something, a whale, a submerged object, no one would ever know, had punched a hole in the hull. Callahan had maybe 3 minutes before Napoleon Solo went under. He grabbed his survival kit, a spear gun, some food, and threw himself overboard. Within minutes, the boat he had spent years building was gone. He climbed into the raft, alone on a 6-foot rubber circle in the middle of the Atlantic. He had 9 days of food, some water, and a position roughly 800 miles west of the Canary Islands. The nearest shipping lane was miles away, and no one knew exactly where he was. The first problem was water. In the middle of the ocean, fresh water is nearly impossible to find. Callahan had a small solar still, a device that used sunlight to evaporate and collect fresh water. On good days, it produced barely a pint, never enough, always rationed to the last drop. Then there was the food problem, and the ocean's unexpected solution. Fish naturally gather under floating objects in open ocean, and Callahan had a spear gun. He became an expert at it. Every catch kept him alive for one more day. He also ate raw triggerfish, barnacles scraped from the raft's underside, and anything else the ocean offered. He tracked the stars at night to confirm his position and watch for shipping lanes. He developed an obsessive routine: water collection at dawn, fishing at midday, navigation at night. Routine, he would later write, was not just useful, it was the only thing holding his mind together. By day 10, he had already missed a passing ship by what he estimated was a mile. He fired a flare. The ship did not stop. It disappeared over the horizon. Then the sharks found him, and they were interested in more than the fish. These were oceanic white-tip sharks, one of the most aggressive species in the open ocean. They began bumping the raft, testing it, returning every day. He learned to sleep in short intervals, always listening for the sound of them below. Around day 30, the real crisis began. Not from the ocean, but from the raft itself. One of the raft's 2 chambers was slowly losing pressure. He was slowly sinking. He patched it. The patch held for 2 days. Then another leak opened. He was spending hours every day manually pumping air back into the raft just to stay afloat. Every hour of sleep he took, the raft lost air. Every hour he pumped, he lost calories. He was caught in a slow death spiral, and he knew it. Somewhere around day 40, the psychological wall hit him like a second shipwreck. He later described moments of complete despair, wondering if survival was actually worth the suffering. But something, stubbornness, survival instinct, the fear of giving up, kept him moving. He made a decision, not a feeling, not a hope, a cold, deliberate decision to keep going. He had already survived 40 days. Most experts would have expected him dead by 20. And now a new threat announced itself, in the middle of the night. One of the sharks, a large mako, hit the raft with enough force to launch Callahan into the air. When he looked down, there was a 6-inch tear in the raft floor, open to the ocean. Repairing a 6-inch tear in the middle of the ocean at night is nearly impossible. He worked through the night. By dawn, he had slowed the leak, not stopped it. He now had to pump air constantly, watch for more shark strikes, and still catch enough food to live. The sharks would strike the raft 3 more times before they finally moved on. Each time he repaired it, each time he kept going. By day 50, his spear gun broke. His primary food source had just become a memory. He improvised a makeshift spear from parts of the gun and whatever the raft could provide. Day 53. His body had lost 40 pounds. His sores from saltwater were deep and infected. He began talking to himself, not from madness, but because the silence had become its own threat. He kept a meticulous mental log. Distances drifted, stars crossed, fish caught, water collected. He calculated he was drifting west at approximately 1 mile per hour, carried by the north equatorial current. By day 60, the ocean itself gave him the first sign he was approaching land. Tropical reef fish, the kind that only live close to land, were gathering under his raft. Land had to be within 60 miles, maybe less. On the morning of April 21st, 1982, day 76, he lit his last working flare. 3 fishermen on a small boat off the coast of Guadeloupe saw the red light on the horizon. They changed course. They moved toward the light. Callahan heard the engine before he saw the boat and knew immediately what it meant. The fishing boat appeared through the morning haze, real, solid, moving toward him. He had not spoken to another human being in 76 days. The fisherman had to help him stand. His legs no longer remembered how. He had drifted approximately 1,800 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. He had lost over 1/3 of his body weight and was covered in saltwater sores. He had survived longer alone at sea in an inflatable raft than almost anyone in recorded history. He was taken to a hospital in Guadeloupe, where doctors said he should not have survived day 20. His body healed. His mind took longer. He wrote a book about those 76 days, Adrift, which became a survival classic. He said that surviving the ocean taught him that hope is not the same as the will to survive. Hope, he explained, is a feeling. You can lose a feeling. But the will to survive is something else. It's a choice you make again every single morning. And he made that choice 76 times, one for every morning he woke up on that raft. 76 mornings, 76 choices, one extraordinary life. And join the adventure for more survival stories.